Hello, hello, hello. So I want to talk to you tonight about some passive income and some financial freedom because I keep hearing these phrases come from women who want to get their first deal done fast. How much passive income does it take for you to quit your job? How much passive income do you need before you've hit your financial freedom number? Like, tell me about it down in the comments. Say hello. Give me a number. It's okay. Everybody's got a different number. No big deal. Everybody's got one. I want to talk about passive income and financial freedom. And they usually come together in a little pair. But how do we actually calculate passive income? So how much income do you need per month from your investments to take the place of how much you need to cover your expenses? And when I say expenses, ladies, I want you to get a pencil here real quick. We've all got pretty much kind of a nut that we've got to cover. A lot of us have a mortgage payment or rent payment. How much is that? What are the other things that go along with that? Does that cover your insurance? Does that cover your utilities? Does that cover, some months' utilities are more than other months' utilities? So give me what it is. And I usually say when I'm actually helping a lady calculate her passive income, whatever your mortgage payment is, if you spend $1,200 a month on mortgage or on rent, you probably spend at least half that in other expenses related to that house. So if you have a $1,200 a month mortgage payment, $600 probably goes towards electric, water, cable, sewer, gas. All of that goes into your monthly expenses. But then we have other expenses every month, don't we? We've got car. We've got Sirius XM that goes with the car. We've got that automated car wash thing that we subscribe to so we can just go through it all the time and not have to pay. With the car, we got to have gas. We got to have money to get the oil changed. We got to have money to, set aside so that we can get another car in 3 or 4 or 5 years. So, what is your car expense every single month? So think about it and get a pencil out, all right? And actually think about your monthly expenses because a lot of y'all are living on the skinny side. But if you had more passive income, if you had more income, you wouldn't be living so far on the skinny side, all right? But maybe some of you have your house paid off and you don't have a monthly nut mortgage payment, but you might be spending that money in other ways. You might do monthly vacations or monthly other things. So whatever it is that you're spending every single month is probably dead set or pretty darn close to what you're making every single month. If you have monthly expenses of $4,000 to $15,000, I would say you're right there in the bubble of pretty much every American. All right, everybody I know has monthly expenses somewhere between $4,000 a month and $15,000 a month. Now, I know people that have monthly expenses of $30,000 a month because they're running a business and they got to have the things going on. I know people that have $100,000 a month in monthly expenses because they've got, huge apartment complexes, all right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you and yourself. What are your monthly expenses? And go ahead and list your nails because I know y'all are in there twice a month getting your nails done. Go ahead and list your pedicure. Go ahead and calculate, 6 times a year you go get your hair done. So go ahead and calculate that. Calculate everything that you spend on you. Think about food, all right? I saw one lady the other day talking about her family is spending $800 to $1,000 a month at the grocery store, but they never eat out. So think about your living expenses, because if you're spending $5,000 to $10,000 a month, if that's what it takes every single month for you to live your life the way you're used to living it right now, I'd say you're not willing to live on less. All right, if you're living on $5,000 a month right now, I'd say you probably won't settle for trying to live on $1,000 a month. And the same thing too, if you're living on $10,000 a month, and whether that's you and your husband, or whether that's you because you live at your mom's house, or whatever it is, like if you're used to living on $10,000 a month, you probably don't want to have to start living on $5,000 a month. Whatever your number is, I'm cool with it. I'm totally cool with it. Whatever your number is fine. But we're not talking about all great big expenses. I'm talking about you to live in the way you were accustomed to living. Give me a number. All right, go ahead and pop a number down. And maybe your number is 5. Maybe your number is 7. Maybe your number is 10. But maybe you need to be really honest with yourself and say, you know what? My number is 12 and I only bring in 10. I've been in the hole for the last 7 months. And I got to figure out how to replace that so that I at least break even. A lot of ladies don't like to talk about money, but if you've been with me for a minute, you know that I'm good. Let's talk about the money. Because if we don't talk about it, it never gets accomplished, right? Money drives all of us to do a lot of different things. So now that you've got your money number, the nut that you need every single month so that you can live your life the way that you expect to live it right now, $10,000 a month. Let's go with that. Let's say that you are spending $10,000 a month. You at your job right now work 40 hours a week. And if you're spending 10, so you're bringing in $2,500 a week, which means taxes and everything, you should be bringing in $4,000 a week so that you can actually bring home $2,500 a week so that every month you get 10 grand, right? Y'all with me? If you're bringing home $2,500 a week from your job and it takes 40 hours, that's 160 hours a month to get 10 grand. What if there was a way for you to make $10,000 a week in about 5 hours? A lot of y'all on this video right now are in First Still Done Fast. You know that you could make $10,000 a week. You know that you could make $10,000 extra every month by going out and talking to sellers, by going out and helping sellers get rid of houses that they don't want. But y'all also know that you could be buying apartments. And those apartments, depending on how many you have, let's say you've got 20 units in an apartment complex and you make a profit of $500 per unit per month. Well, that's a one-time, like 6 month, we got to get this thing in, got to get it filled up, got to get it bought, got to get it closed. But if we get this apartment complex and each unit brings in an extra $500 of profit every month, now we've made $10,000 a month for the rest of our lives that we don't have to work for anymore, all right? Those 160 hours that you're putting in at the job, if you invest right, if you buy the right apartment complex, if you analyze it properly, you could make the same $10,000 a month for literally waking up, all right? And that kind of passive income, the passive income that you need right now to be able to do your living and be a happy woman, $10,000. When we can get you in the right real estate deal, the right real estate deal could bring you $10,000 a month and you wouldn't have to clock in 160 hours a month. Does that make sense? It does make sense. And y'all know this is possible. But for some reason, when we start talking about those apartment deals, when we start talking about that kind of return on money, women are like, oh, no, I need to do all this other stuff first. And I'm like, why? Why not just go for $10,000 a month? Just boop, in my bank account. Thank you very much. I woke up. That's financial freedom, y'all. All right, if you're playing cash flow, if you're playing the board game, cash flow, and your passive income exceeds your monthly expenses, you get to get out of the rat race. Y'all know what's going on in the rat race? It's a bunch of little houses, it's a bunch of little flips, it's a bunch of little duplexes, it's a bunch of little quadplexes, it's a bunch of little deals. That's what's going on in the rat race. To get out of the rat race, you have to start doing the big deals. You have to start taking the big leaps of faith. You have to start taking massive action. Y'all are old enough that you've been doing the little deals long enough. You've been buying little gold coins. You've been buying stocks. You've been buying little bonds. You've been buying little houses. You've been doing little flips. You've been doing little duplexes. Y'all been doing little deals. It's time to go big, girls. It's time to go real big. Y'all know how high on the hog you be living if you were bringing in $25,000 to $50,000 every single month in passive income? I'm talking about 25 smackaroos that you just woke up and had in your account. Now, I'm not saying that when you get into the bundle, you're automatically tomorrow gonna be waking up to an extra 25 grand or 50 grand. I'm not saying that at all. I never said real estate investing was easy. I said it was worth it. I said it was the fastest way to build real wealth for a woman today. All right? Because real estate deals, passive income, financial freedom, it doesn't care if you're a man or a woman. It doesn't care if you got kids or not. It just pays. It just pukes out money because you did the work. And when you do the work, when you really do the work, that's when the rewards come to you. But it doesn't happen overnight. I'm not going to lie and tell you that it happens overnight. Even when you do buy that apartment complex that is going to give you $10,000 a month in passive income, it's going to take probably 3 or 4 months to get that thing closed. It might take another 3 or 4 months to get that money up to where it needs to be. And then one day, yes, you will wake up and say, holy shit, that's a lot of money in my bank account. Woo! I'm glad I've been working on this for the last 6-8 months. All right, guys, when you plant those seeds, when you start the deals, when you put the offers in, when you up the rents, when you flip the kitchen, when you fix the water leak, when you do all those things are seeds. And just because you plant a seed right now in springtime, it's not going to bloom tomorrow. All right. And you got to tend to it. You got to water it. You got to follow up with it. All right. I used to be a great gardener. And then I started dating a guy that lived in Georgia. And suddenly I had too much to do during the week that I couldn't garden anymore. And now I'm in Georgia myself most of the time. Holly McRae says that she is a progress junkie. I'm a progress junkie too. I'm a goal setter. I love to set out big plans and dreams and then just crush it. Right? And you probably do too. But if you've ever gardened, you know that the day you plant the seed is not the day that you cut the beautiful rosebud off. It's not the same day. It's not even a week later that you're taking pictures of it and posting it up on Facebook. A friend of mine the other day, I'm also an orchid farmer. I can grow those still. They're inside. One of my friends has had an orchid plant for 3 years and that thing is blooming. All right, some of these deals that you're working on, some of these passive income and financial freedom goals that you have might take 3 years to get that stupid thing to bloom. But how beautiful is it going to be when that day gets here? But if you never start, if you never plant that seed, if you don't tend to it, if you don't water it, even when nothing seems like it's happening, then you're never going to get the bloom. You're never going to get the fruit. You're never going to get that real financial freedom. You've got to keep going. You've got to plant lots of seeds out there until you figure out how to get it to grow and how to bloom on a regular basis. All right? And I hate to tell you all this, but life is getting more expensive. So if you say you need $5,000 right now, in 10 years, how much money are you going to need? But I'm telling y'all what, if you never get started, if you don't take the leaps now, if you don't plant the seeds now, you're never going to hit that financial freedom. And I know y'all want financial freedom, and I would love tomorrow to let everybody have their financial freedom. But the fact is, you have to get started. And you have to say, you know what, I'm going to be new at this. I'm going to learn this. I'm going to plant these seeds right here. I'm going to do this deal right now because it's going to take me to the next one and the next one and the next one. And then you're going to wake up in a year and be like, holy crap, I'm really good at this. You're going to wake up in 3 years and be like, holy crap, I'm making $25,000 extra every single month and I haven't been to work in 2 years. You can do it. Every single one of you can retire in 2 years if you wanted to. I don't care how old you are. If you do one deal a month that brings in an extra $10,000, in 2 years, y'all could retire because then you'll have $10,000 coming in. If you'll do the deals that bring in, if you'll right now start doing the deals that bring in $10,000 a week or 40 grand a month, how fast would your life change? Seriously, if y'all could make 40 grand by the end of this week, what would you do differently next month? Because I'm telling you, when you make a bunch like that, you probably think, oh my gosh, I could pay off this, I could pay off that, but I could plant that many more seeds so that next year I wouldn't make 40. Maybe then I'd be making 160,000 this month. Or maybe I'd take part of it and do this and part of it and do that so that I would fulfill my immediate short-term goals, but I'd also have 80,000 next year because I'd planted more seeds. I love talking about passive income. I love goal setting. I love putting a plan into place. I love dreaming. I love having big visions. I love all of that. And I love hearing what y'all want to do. A lot of women have this beautiful heart to serve, to open houses for people that need help. A lot of y'all want to open rescues and 501(c)(3)s and all these things. But I'm telling y'all what, you've got these big visions, you got these big goals, and you can do all of it. But I know it's a lot easier to get those things going when you've got your passive income way up there. When you're working a job and you're trying to get started in real estate, it's tough. I know it. You got to keep going. You got to keep planting those seeds or you'll never be able to drop one. The one that we always drop is real estate investing. Don't do that this time, y'all. Put a plan into place so that you can drop that job. If anything's got to go, it's going to be that. It's going to be those 160 hours that you're giving somebody else and somebody else's dream every month. And I don't care if you're working for Walmart, that's still somebody else's dream. I want y'all to spend those 160 hours working on your goals and your dreams. If you had the same 160 hours, if you could take a month off of work right now, what would you get accomplished in the next month just because you didn't have to go serve somebody else 160 hours of your precious time? If you could retire in 2 years, your kids would be two more grades ahead. How different would their life change if you were suddenly available to do more things? What would your grandkids think if suddenly you were available to do more things? You could do anything they wanted to. If they want to go do this today, we'll go do that. We never had to say, no, we can't do that because I don't have the money. Y'all can do this. This passive income that you want, if you want $5,000, $10,000, $50,000, you can do this, ladies. I know you can. You can get that passive income up because once you hit that passive income number, your financial freedom is just like 2 millimeters away. Once you get your passive income to where it needs to be, your true financial freedom might be doubling up. It might be that you do work your job and you have $10,000 a month coming in, maybe for 2 years. Maybe that extra $10,000 for the next 2 years would pay off your house free and clear, which means your expenses would go back down. You had your passive income up, you had your regular income up, and you were free and clear in your house. What would you do? Would you go buy a car? Would you go on vacation? Would you keep working both systems at the same time so that in 2 years you could retire? Maybe making $20,000 a month then. Would you take the next year of that extra $10,000, go buy a rental house? Because I'm telling you what, if that's what you would do, if you would go pay $120,000 for one rental house, have $120,000 sunk down into something, I would really want you to think about the highest and best use for that $120,000 because it might not be to just buy one house. The highest and best use for that $120,000 might be to put it down on $1 million apartment complex. That will bring in $10,000 a month so that in a year you'd have the apartment complex and the money in the bank. It might be for that $120,000 you loan it out to somebody else that's going to fix and flip a deal, or somebody that's bought a house at auction and they can sell it as soon as they get clear title to it. It might be for $120,000 you could put that down on a beach house. It's all totally possible, but not if you don't get started. If you don't plant those seeds, if you don't figure out and learn other ways to make money. Because as long as you think the only way for you to make money and the only way for you to pay your bills is to go to work for 160 hours a month, you're going to miss out on a world of riches. I have paid probably $100,000 over the last 5 years to learn how to make money, to learn how to turn a small deal into a big deal, to learn how to spread the wealth out a little bit so that I had 3 or 4 income streams coming in. So I'm not just depending on one to pay all my bills and to supersede my passive income. All right, I spent a lot of money to figure out how to buy houses. I spent $15,000, and then I made $15,000 back in 8 weeks, because when you invest big, you have that why to go get your money back, to go get your deals done, to go prove that you're not just gonna be a boot camp graduate that never did anything. All right, that was my why. And because my boyfriend told me that I couldn't get it done and that nobody would work with me, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll show you. I paid other money to learn how to be a private money lender. I paid money to learn how to set up my vacation rental house. I paid money so that I could learn how to hold events. I paid money so that I could learn how to negotiate. If you're gonna make big money, you're gonna have to do some work. You're gonna have to invest. You're gonna have to step out, take a leap of faith. You're gonna have to take massive, crazy amounts of action. You might even have to risk looking like a newbie or looking like you don't exactly know what you're doing all the time to be able to just have the action going and getting things done out there, y'all. The law of attraction is based in action, but you have to take inspired action. You have to take action in the right direction. You have to have your goals. You have to have your dreams. You have to have your vision boards. You have to have all those things. Yeah, I got it. I get it. But you got to take the right action. All right? If you start driving down the road on the wrong side of the road, going in the wrong direction, you're never going to get to the beach. But if you're going the wrong way, you're never going to get to where you actually want to go. And y'all, I got to tell you, that's why we created the bundle. What it cost me $100,000 or more to learn how to do, we've now got boiled down into strategies, formulas, tips, tricks, tidbits, the whole 9 yards, so that you don't have to invest $100,000 to make $10,000 a month. I want y'all to have $10,000 a month in passive income. I want every one of you to have financial freedom. I want every single one of you to be able to live your best life right now. I believe you when you say you want to get passive income, you're willing to work to get that passive income up, and I know that you deserve $10,000 a month in passive income. If not, 20,000 or 50,000, girl. I believe you deserve all the money in the world. But it's going to take some action. It's going to take some activity. It's going to take some brass ovaries from time to time. But you can do it. But I'm telling y'all, you want those $10,000 a month in passive income months? You want that financial freedom? Let's get it, girls. Let's go get it.